All right, on campus here with head coach Steve Smith of Westbrook. And Coach, last week you guys had a tremendous performance as a shutout victory, correct?
No, we won 53-6.
53-6, that's right. It was 6.
53-7, I'm sorry.
Coach, dominant performance, both sides of the ball, and when you win a game like that, you've actually got some JV guys that get in there and they do their job as well.
Right.
Talk about the overall performance of the team.
Yeah, it was probably, I would say it might have been the best first half of football we played in the first 3 years I've been here, in my time here. We started out with a good kicking game. It's been the first couple of weeks of the year for us, and defense was really good. Offense executed. We had a 3-and-out and punted on our very first possession, and then after that, I think we scored our other possessions in the first half, and we had a defensive touchdown, fumble recovery in the end zone for a touchdown. Then we blocked a punt that we recovered in the end zone, but we were out of bounds, so it was a safety. Got contributions from a lot of different folks, and was able to get everybody in the game. And younger guys played most of the second half, and a lot of those guys performed well. So just a good overall team victory.
How fun is it for the guys that have been out here 2 days, out in the 100-degree heat, some in the summer? I know it ain't been as hot. We talked about that, but still hot. And to see them get out there and this kind of the fruit that they've harvested, they put in the work to see that has to be fun for the guys and yourself.
It is. You talk to them all the time about the work that you're putting in, and that Fridays is supposed to just be fun. Fridays you're supposed to go out there and play and have a good time. We say it often in our locker room. We're playing football. It needs to be enjoyable. Sometimes to get to do the things that you enjoy, you have to go through some things that maybe aren't as fun. The training, the summer times, the heat. A lot of those things are parts of the equation that you don't necessarily enjoy while you're doing it, but that part of what goes into being able to be in football shape and condition to play games once the season gets started. I've said this to my own kids. Sometimes you have to go through some times that are not fun to be able to enjoy the things that you get to enjoy later on down the road. And I think football is one of those examples that you can always look at. The off-season program, the summer program, the conditioning, the running when it's 100 degrees. You do all those things, and then you put in 4 days a week of practice to be able to get to go out on Friday nights and enjoy the games and have fun. So, it's been fun to this point for sure.
That's good. Yeah, you guys have been winning in dominant fashion this week. Massive game. Everybody in the whole state's looking at it. I've had people call me and say, we're coming up to the game. Just people from all over the state. But going into a game like this, Coach, you've done it hundreds of times throughout your career. That community, those kids, just like they're your family pretty much. But just talk about the overall game and what's on the slate this week.
Well, I think it's important that you get your kids to understand it's just the next game. Where our philosophy is always the next game is the biggest game because it's the next game. Obviously, anytime you play a team of the caliber of Piedmont, the reputation that they have, and the state rankings and all that, it might seem like it's a little bit bigger to some folks than others. I mean, it's big for us because we're playing 2 undefeated teams, playing for, possession of first place in the region at this point in the year. So it's a huge game from that perspective, but it's really the next game, and therefore it's the biggest game on the schedule. They've played in a lot of games like this. Our program has played in some games like this, but it's been a while, when we're playing with something like that on the line. But you just try not to make it bigger than what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the next game on the schedule. You work hard this whole week to prepare for this game, and you want to go out there on Friday night and be loose and play fast and do your best, and whatever the scoreboard says at the end, that's what it says.
That's what I thought was impressive about last week. There was zero look ahead. The guys were focused in, and it showed. But talk about some of these guys that's really stepped up for you. Let's just start offensively, some of the guys that you've really leaned on and have been there for you.
Well, Brody Blevins is a 3-year varsity starter, second-year varsity starter at quarterback. I mean, and any coach will tell you, your offense starts with your quarterback and leadership that they provide, and he does a great job of being that guy as far as being willing to be, not want anybody to do anything that he wouldn't be willing to do first. He's a team player. He's all about the team. Brody Wood and Maximus Jones are basically 3-year starters in the backfield, so they've got a lot of experience there. Our receivers are all back from last year, and you got another Brody Johnson out there, Bo Kilgo, Beckham Hammontree, Parker Sims playing a good bit out there, Cordell Martin, Sawyer Stewart. Those guys, we got a solid group at that position, and then our offensive line, 3 of them first-time starters, or actually, 3 of them first-time starters, and then Cooper Lancaster and Jonah Valentine being the veterans coming back. Tyler Brown was a defensive starter last year, moved over to the offensive line, and then you got Luke Armstrong and sophomore Jack Larkin that make up our starting 5 there. So those guys, they're still coming around as an offensive unit. They're still gelling, still working through some kinks, but been very pleased with their progress.
Yeah, they've looked very good. I mean, and we can go into defense here in a second. I'd like to, but let's flip the switch to special teams, because you got a weapon over there that not a lot of people do.
Well, Reed, we talk about Reed each and every week, and he had another great week for us last week. I think he was 6 out of 6 on touchbacks.
It's crazy, man.
We got a young kicker, Joseph Naughton, that he's learning from a really, really good one in front, but Joseph's going to be really good as well. He got a couple of kickoffs last week and got a chance for a couple extra points and a punt. I think it was last week. But Reed is a weapon, and then we tried to surround him with good people on those special teams. I think last week Reed 6 out of 6 on PATs that he kicked. I think he was 6 out of 6 on touchbacks when he kicked off. He made his only field goal attempt, and I think he punted twice for like a 40-yard average, one inside the 20. Just a big deal when you got somebody like that that's that dependable. And you want to mention the units that he's on. The kickoff team, is a good team. The punt team, the extra point field goal team, everybody has to do their job there for, keep the other teams from getting penetration. So Holder, Parker Sims, snapper Taylor Brown, I mean, that's a group effort when you go out there and you convert your extra points, your field goals, and so we talk about it every week, something we take pride in, but it definitely has been a big weapon for us.
Yeah, if you don't think snappers are important, a lot of times they get overlooked, but
right.
Man, you let one of them bad snaps go in a big game, and it's
that's right.
a different world.
Everybody, snappers are kind of like, I equate snapping punts and extra points, field goals. It's kind of like being an umpire or an official. As long as they're doing their job and everything's going good,
That's
nobody
right.
really pays attention to them.
You don't know they're there.
If they miss a call or something like that, then that's when everybody gets irate. And you just take it for granted your long snappers are going to get the job done until they snap one over the punter's head.
That's right.
They roll one back there or something, and then everybody in the stadium, from parents to grandmother and little kids and everybody else, wants to know who snapped that ball. So it's a pretty thankless job, but we're very fortunate in Taylor Brown and Brooks Whiteside. We got a couple of good ones.
Yeah, they've been doing a phenomenal job for you, Coach. And then defensively, I think I've seen Mr. Skaggs is leading the state in sacks per game.
Oh, is he?
I think he is. Yeah, I think he's averaging two sacks a game or something like that. But who else? I mean, you got a ton of guys you can mention.
Yeah, Easton and Isaiah Hooten and Jake Haney have done a really good job for us on our defensive front. Starting our starting 3. Brooks Whiteside had an interception return for a touchdown a couple weeks ago against Sachs. He's a returning starter inside linebacker. Outside backers, Titus Jones and Jackson Marat started last year. They've both been solid. Jerry Zarang and Jonathan Hurstman have been playing the other inside linebacker position for us, and they've both progressed nicely. Luke Thompson, Carter Carthen, returning starters in the secondary, and then Gavin Michael and Maddox Mooney have kind of taking over those other 2 spots. Last week, Maddox was out. He'll be back with us this week, but Justice Jones stepped in as a freshman and started at safety and had a really good game for us. So, just playing more games, getting more experience. Guys are getting better each week. Defensively, we start 2 seniors, so we got 9 underclassmen, on the defensive side, and I've been really pleased with the progress that they've made. And I feel
that's
like
huge.
Well, it is. In game experience is big, and that's one of those things that we really made a conscious effort to try to step it up on that side of the ball this year, and I've been real proud of how those guys have done to this point.
Man, to have that, guys performing at that kind of level that's got multiple years left, that's huge.
No, it is. No doubt.
Ain't no doubt about it. Coach, before I get you out of here, I always like to ask, kind of kick it back to you, final thoughts. I know you can break down the game or whatever you'd like to talk about.
Well, again, as I say each and every week, we're really appreciative of all the support that we're getting. Our school, our faculty, administration, our booster club, fans, parents. I mean, the support that we received to this point has been tremendous. Football is kind of like a marathon. It's a long season. You just play one time a week. We got lower levels, junior high and JV playing on Monday nights. We've got a youth league team plays on Tuesday nights. Flag football started up here soon on Thursday nights, and then
y'all got a flag team this year?
Well, we don't have girls flag. We've got a flag league for kids.
Oh, okay.
Our elementary kids.
I got you.
So there's some football going on, and if you don't pace yourself a little bit on it, it can become a grind.
You got that right.
But very pleased with everybody and the people that are pitching in and helping out with all the things that we got going on, whether it's a Thursday morning meal or post-practice meal, a meal after the game on Friday night road games. A lot of people that are investing time and putting things out there for us to be able to give us the best chance for our program to be successful. I'm very thankful of that and excited about Friday night, the opportunity to go on the road to one of the top teams in the state and have an opportunity to play in that kind of game and that environment. It's going to be a lot of fun and look forward to having everybody there.
Yeah, Coach, that's going to be a huge, I don't have to tell you, you've been there 100 times when it's packed, but they'll be tailgating and everything there.
Oh, yeah.
Be a good game, and shout out to your volleyball team yesterday. I went and watched them play and got pictures. And
big win yesterday.
That was a huge win.
Team. Big area win yesterday against Glencoe. And,
that's phenomenal.
Our volleyball team has a lot of potential, and there's a lot of things that could happen if things fall into place for them, and I'm excited about their prospects for a deep run this year as well.
Absolutely. That was a good one yesterday, Coach. I got to watch that one firsthand. Well, Coach, appreciate you sitting in with us. Thank you so much, and looking forward. I'm actually going to be out the game Friday myself.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Thank you.